This is day 387 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor or come and share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. It would be very greatly appreciated. Today we are doing Simon Reish Samach Hey, Sifra Gimel, to Simon Reish Samach Vav, Sif Zayin. Sorry about that. Yud Gimel, the last tip in Simon Reish Samach Hey. Come, Mutzite Mai Takas Hashem Shabbat Shloshim Arikim Bo. Allowed to put oil under the water underneath the oil um, in the lamp that what you're lighting. First you put the water on Erev Shabbos, and then you put the oil. But the case that the reason you do this is to lift up the oil higher in that lamp. We don't have in mind here to extinguish the candle, like we have to shemen, but to lift up the oil. There's no reason to make a gzeira shemen as came Shabbos. They might come to Shabbos because your intent is not to extinguish, but to lift up. The Shabbos l'shaychak b'shemen she'eino like b'Shabbos. But Shabbos, you're obviously not going to lift up the oil because you're not lighting on Shabbos. Some people say a few miskam l'kib. Sorry. And most says even some people say even if you have mind actually to extinguish the candle, that's permissible. This water is not revealed. It's concealed, so to speak, under the oil. It's only causing the extinguishing. That is the custom kind of shono. Kloma, meaning says the Shabbos here, it's not relevant to make zera. Let's come do so on Shabbos. Even if there was a reality, there was a possibility Shiyasa came to Shabbos, they might lose the Shabbos. The Zel Mamish Gram Kiboy. File analysis is causing something to become extinguished from Sim Shilam Dal, came to Hepsek with a Maimel, or because the water is, there's interruption between the water and the fire at the time the fire is lit. Came Mashach Ligzar Shabbos after Erev Shabbos. So if on Shabbos itself will only be a Gram Kiboy, well, how could you make there Erev Shabbos lest you can do some Shabbos? Erev Shabbos that's more, ain't kind of, it's a Raisa. Shabbos itself is no Torah provision. Voting for the Madiyah Shabbos, so said Shabbos, Koshkosan, besides, you can't do it on Shabbos, as we said, because there's no writing on Shabbos. It's the rice there isn't in the previous halacha either putting the vessel with water next to the candle in order to catch sparks. Because extinguishing the sparks is it's not in order to make the wick better to light next time, but rather just to avoid any fire. Never shame malacha. The number says shame malacha on the extinguishing. But the Rambam chai b'malacha shen tzilgu. Besides, the Rambam holds you chai b'malacha shen tzilgu. But it's having the simulation base. V'abahacha leika show shame malacha is a cloud, but here there's no shame malacha on the water on the oil. Gram malacha. It's only called causation. Okay, and therefore it's only causation, so therefore it's not comparable to the direct extinguishing of the previous sif. There's all long brackets here. The words of the law are clear. Those rights goes on my mind to extinguish. They're saying the truth. But nevertheless, even if you have a mind to extinguish, ain't got Isser Erev Shabbos, no prohibition to set this up on Erev Shabbos. Whatever question you ask is not difficult. They write this to preclude other possibilities. They wrote this because this is the case on the question. Also put water on in Erev Shabbos into a lamp in which there is a ner shochem, in which there is a tallow candle, or shoshava, or a wax candle. Ain't gonna say there's no prohibition. Mr. Bura says actually that this is also quite to everybody. Well, it's a very great machlekes, very fast relation to Mr. Bura and the Arukh HaShulchan. Says nevertheless, since the water is not in the same kli. Not sure exactly what he means over here, because it seems to be the same kli to me. Maybe he says it could be a case where they're not in the same kli, but here it's quite clear. The Arukh HaShulchan says, "Ganite ma'im be'er shas tocha ner she'omid ner shechel bo sheshava ein kanisser." Shabbos won't do this on Shabbos. Rak kli acher is only in another vessel adjacent to the lamp is also. Maybe he's going on this case, Mishnah Berurah. Maybe it's at a place in the Arukh HaShulchan, Pesach Mishnah Berurah. They're going really on this. So, but he writes here, Loyas came with Shabbos after the Achetz goes in Shem Yasev Shabbos lo mefsek Yisura. Then Shekach another vessel. It's no good because people realize that doing so on Shabbos is also. And that Mishnah says that it's also chuliyama to put a keli with water next to the candle in another keli. But Mishnah said tzarach you can be matir if since the water is not the same keli as the candle. It probably is what's going on. Anyway, the Gamas comes to Magen Abraham. Nira Gushikinu and Shom seems to be conclusion Magen Abraham. Heiko Sabeli Rabbis to New Chikinu a minute biyomov. They used to put the candles in a bowl of water. But according to Miles Zeb, first he was astonished by this and then he wrote the heter which we have explained. And so much custom Magen Abraham Sharamai Shmitze. Magen Abraham writes the Ramah Omixus Ain't Shmota. He's not omitting anything. The man move on. Okay, it's an inference which is understood. For in front of my Oser, if he forbade actually have a bar, he should have explained. Came since custom was to do this, much custom of Rabba. It must be that there's no prohibition to do this on Erev Shabbos. Okay, so I've never seen people put candles into vessels with water. I've seen people put oil on top of water. But presumably they were a lot more afraid of fire back then, and that's why perhaps this was something which people used to do. Reis Samach Vav. You were walking and it got dark on Erev Shabbos, obviously. Ishmael Mos, and he has money with him. Kesayah said, what should he do? Somebody who was coming on the way and got dark. No, think he's he gives his wallet to a non-Jew. I've got the shluchul Yisrael Mos. He's your agent to carry your money. It has to be matir. We have to be pragmatic about this. As the Gemara says, a person does not restrain himself when it comes to saving his money. If he lower choice, if he's not going to let him do this, doesn't carry himself 4 amas rabin. It's like you pass Torah. Lo diba Torah keneged yetzer hara. Peirush Rashi, nice and kisam about yoyim. Give me your wallet before Shabbos starts. So Rambam Perek Vav Din Chabes, Kos the Gam Shrev Sheikh. You give the guy the wallet even after dark. Kekos Abarosh for two Abarosh Shulchan the Zob Shita. This is obvious. Even though once it's dark, there's also prohibition muktzah. You can't look at the Ishlo Yabo. They said they were lenient with the Isser muktzah in this case, so you shouldn't come to the Isser Daraisa. So Rashi came to him. Rashi also means the same thing. The Bada used the Yader, don't be about the It's best, of course, to give before Shabbos begins. They not tell me some muktzah to be safe from the prohibition of muktzah. Abdi Lona, son Lomi, but if you didn't give from before Shabbos begins, Rashi Moedeshi Tilom Chashecha. Also, Rashi can see you should give it to him after darkness. And for the inference of the Rambam seems the same. He says you give your wallet, etc. Even though you gave them after the darkness fell, it's supposed to see there. Lachi Bruce means to say, you give it from before Shabbos begins. But even you gave it after darkness, mutter again because we're pragmatic here. Base. Rambam Shulchan Aruch states follows: somebody's coming on the road. He came Shabbos. And he had money with him. You gave your wallet to a goy lo to take for you. Shabbos and after Shabbos is over, you take the wallet from him. Even though you didn't pay him for this, if you gave it him after darkness, after nightfall, people are nervous about the money. You're not going to allow him to do this, which is only the Rabbanan. The son comes to bring it in his hand himself. And he transgresses a Torah prohibition. End quote. That which the Rambam Shulchan write that you take it from him after Shabbos is over. That is when the non-Jew is distant from his house and it's outside the tchum. They can't bring it to you in the tchum on Shabbos. But if it was within the tchum, he'll come home, and the Jew himself will come home that night. And the non-Jew will also bring the wallet to his house, and he'll leave it there in the Jew's house. Only if it's outside the tchum, and they have to. I'm not sure I said this clearly before, but it's outside the tchum, and the Jew can't get home before Shabbos, right? So he is compelled to be shabbos on the road. That's your Ram Shabbos on that. Ram warns we sound taken from the Jew of Shabbos Sharehu Muktzeh. It's Muktzeh, and obviously he'll bring it out from beyond the tchum after Shabbos. Kimmel number says because that which Rambam wrote that even though he didn't pay him, if you give him money, actually, it's completely permissible. Why? Once you pay him, he's involved for his own benefit, not for your benefit. Came Lama Glogo to Chamelov, Swan Chachamim decree. Shaitain lo schar, dvar ma, they give him some sort of payment. Shlo, you have a headache, so she won't be explicitly like the agents of the Jew, but rather working on his own, so to speak. Nearly the Vadaketu. Certainly says Arukh HaShulchan that's the best thing to do. The most kisa with Yom Sech Lafticha is a schar, and if you give it the while from before Shabbos begins, you have to promise to pay him something. Rama Mayim Mishachashech, but Ram said about after dark, Yesh Isra least come Shabbos. Now let to hire people on Shabbos, even the non-Jew. We're not going to gain anything by hiring on Shabbos. Mali Isra Lishloach Shaliach. What's the difference between the prohibition to send an agent or Isra List Come Shabbos, a prohibition to hire work on Shabbos? That's why he concludes and says, and he says, even though he gave him a night after nightfall to Mr. Klomar, the Amosai, he tied a below schar. Before Shabbos he gains, you should definitely pay the non-Jew. Even if Shabbos again, you can't pay him, so then we're still going to be matir after dark. Dal, the Yeshiva Shomer, those who say they came in the Ikar time, Mukadesh Lovely, they used to tell you about verse Abraham Rabim. Since the primary issue is that you shouldn't come to the Issa Daraisa in moving something for Amishus Rabbi, or Knasim, Rishus Rabbi, Rishus Yachid, or bringing something in from Rishus Rabbi to Rishus Yachid. Came with man as this, in our day and age, Rishus Rabbim. We don't have really Rishus Rabbim the way they did back then, at least. Although now, if you're stuck on an interstate highway, before Shabbos begins, you would have a similar halacha. Interstate highway is Rishus Rabbim, but much more complicated, obviously. We're not going to permit a Rishus Rabbanon where we don't have a Shuzan Daraisa can I feel Shuzan about smoke, Lavi Archus to see me take themselves, only the Rabbanon. So why should you get the non-Jew involved? When she cuts about a tool come and Simon Shin Ramadalit, they didn't allow carrying muktzah in the case of a loss for this reason. I don't know what he's referring to over there. When we get there, we'll find out. But evidently there, you don't do Shvus A because Shvus B is the same thing. He says that Hasam Benka, slow down, it's not comparable. The Hasam there, Benka Shvusim Shavim. No matter what, you have a similar Drabar. Ayin Shah. I have a Kami Banav Shah. But here, no matter which you look at it, in A Rishus Rabbim, if there is no Rishus Rabbim in our day and age, Ukshanoi Lamatzim of Shvus, and when you therefore, but you carry them himself, it's still Mr. Rabbar. It came most of Akum. If you give it to the non-Jew, it actually gets better. It's not lateral, but superior. Why? Because the Shvus. It's the Rabbanon under the Rabbanon. So evidently there again, it's about where either one Rabbanon or another Rabbanon, but they're both equally Rabbanon. But it's either Rabbanon you carry it yourself, or a Shvus the Shvus. You tell an Andrew to carry it. So Shvus the Shvus is always better than a single Shvus. So the kilo two of a Shvus is very much more lenient than a single Shvus. The comes by me to Shvus the Shvus, and several things are allowed Shvus the Shvus to make a mitzvah in a place where there's a mitzvah involved, or seder or loss. I feel below chashash shem le'voli they used to go is that even when we're not concerned that you might come to a greater prohibition like we are here. Okay, there's the brackets which we're going to skip. It's not really my McCoymus. Hey, but there's your telling him start kisvak, and that's allowed you to give the wallet to the non-Jew. If you yourself have a donkey or horse, which you can put the wallet on them, nevertheless, mutav yosin no lack what's better to do with the non-Jew. They should be emtecha on your animal because of your animal. You are required to not work on Shabbos. Okay, that's great. Sometimes it's your animal. If the animal belongs to non-Jewish, you hired him with his animal. It's best to give it to the animal. Put it on the animal. The says that you don't have to put it upon him when he's walking. You can put it on him when he's stationary. Um, but even if you hire the animal, Hertz rent a donkey, and you were taking it yourself, you should still do this. But as the rental of the donkey doesn't make it completely yours, so it's still not shvisas b'emto, and not the prohibition, full prohibition of shvisas b'emto for causing animals to desist from work on Shabbos. Those who say b'sham the l'chumra kanya, that schirus is koine l'chumra in order to get you a chayav or a chayav. Came mitzvah shvisas tzuba shvisasa. In other words, the chumra would be that the city are required to make it desist from doing labor. But the primary by law is that schirus rental is not an actual kinyan. Regardless, you shouldn't go after the animal which is carrying the burden. Because that's mechamer. You cause the animal to go. And that's not a shvisas behema issue. It's a separate issue. Not to mechamer, not cause the animal not to be the reason why the animal is going, driving the animal. Donkey driving. Chamer ein chiluk ben behemto lebehema saku. By mechamer is no difference actually between his animal and not his animal, because the chamer is driving the animal. Sam Nusham, like wrote there about his bar b'siyata dishmaya. So he clarified later on. The Halacha right brings both opinions, and he adds that even the animal belongs to Yisroel's his friend. It's best to put it on that donkey, your friend's donkey, because you're not mitzvah shvisas v'hemtecha. You're required to cause your own animal to refrain from labor, but not your friend's animal. But still you shouldn't be mechamer, so the non-Jew should be the one who drives the donkey. Well, you have no non-Jew with you. We put on the animal. What are you going to do so you're not don't violate the prohibition of driving a donkey? The Bishlam says, "Bamto." I understand if that in terms of you causing animal to desist from labor, ain't sholo ain't over. I mean, only non-Jews there, not there, but it's still non-Jews animal. So but it's not yours. It's not a problem. I'm mechamer, but driving it ain't chiluk much time. There's no distinction, like we just wrote. The case that I said, what should you do? So because the Torah said, put the wallet on the donkey when it's going. He told him, man, remove it because anytime the donkey stops. And when it starts moving again, put it back upon him again. And the Gemara says the same eitzah. The Gemara explains what's going on here. All the obligations for taking something out on Shabbos from domain to domain, and they're only if you have an uprooting and a placement. And if you do it yourself, but if your friend puts the burden upon you when you are already walking, even if you stand, when you're still exempt, your friend did the uprooting from its place. And you did the replacement. Two people do the one malacha, they're both exempt. So now there's a chiddush. Even when the term for bein hotzah by your animal. Moves through animal. So when the animal itself did the uprooting and the placement. But if he put the object on the animal's back, even though afterwards it stands, it's still only doing anocha, placement without a kill, without removal, so therefore there's no deraisa problem. Can't make the same animals more chayav than you are. So even though with two people, Babais and Yoni became a second Shabbos, doing it, it still has to be rabbanim. What to do akir, the other do anacha. We come an animal, it's okay, even that as long as it's not doing akir anacha, it's not a prohibition. The simple language of the Gemara and the Torah is that you put the object on the back of the animal after it moves completely. The base says you can put the object on it once it moved a hand and a foot. Ain't kabanoso yad achas v'achas. Doesn't mean one hand and one foot. Shema ba'amo is just using the terminology, the phrasing. The kabanoso means she'akol gamre shnei yadayim sheraglayim. It removes both feet and both legs. Kein kosav, in other words, to start moving along its entire length. Kein kosav levush. Okay. He brings down here a bunch of other things here. Rav Dibra Masl Im Kenkos of Rabbits above Lokum Abushiyas Hashem Gam Rashi because of Lashon Regel Ganki Komas Kain. When Rashi writes Regel, the same thing you can see Mishal Chen Regel Hashor VaChamor. They I'm not sure exactly what it's referring to. Shal Regel Hashor VaChamor. It's talking about what's that? It's about the Kama. I don't remember from Shabbos. Okay, don't remember what Rashi speak about. Further, Zion, there's only when there's no non-Jew with you, you don't trust him. But if there is a non-Jew, you shouldn't do this. Even though it's completely permitted. You come nevertheless Shema, you might not be careful, but the animal will come out doing the uprooting and the placement. B'divrei HaTorah v'Shulchan Aruch mizbar that also tikkun zeh behema yitain lech shimalech as died. That's just putting on the animal. I'm assuming that's sufficient. Chenkos abarashba avarama perak beis perak chof din vav osip bezeh tonight. Rambam adds a condition which we'll have to see next time we learn.